Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we have an amazingly easy DIY project for you. We're going to be creating easy stone walls out of sheets of cork. So let's get started. Also, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and leave some comments down below as to what you want to see me do next. So I found these sheets of cork. I think they're used for placemats or something like that at Spotlight in town. If I remember rightly, it was only about $5 for the whole sheet, and it's like an A3 sheet. So I picked one up about 6 months ago, thinking, oh, I'll get around to figuring something out in the future, and now I have. So I figured actually, because of the cork texture, it kind of looks a bit like rocks. So what I did is I decided I'd measure them to the right size. Once they were measured, I stuck them down onto the popsicle sticks, like I've done with a lot of my previous terrain. I find that just works nice and easily, keeps them upright. So that's why I use the popsicle sticks, but stick them to whatever base you wish. Once they're dry, as you can see here, I've gone along with the clippers, and I've just roughly broken some chunks off them, because I don't want them to look pristine and new. I want them to be old farm fences, etc. But do as you wish. If you want them to be brand new, go for it. After that, I gave them a black matte undercoat. Being cork, it did absorb it quite well, so you might wish to do a second coat. I just did the one, and that seems to do the trick quite nicely. After that, it was time. I just went straight in with the dry brush, and I used German grey from Model Colour, and just dry brushed over the whole thing. Some of the areas where the brown was showing through a little bit more, I maybe went a little bit heavier. You can kind of see there's a few patches there. But I wasn't too worried, because if you look at any, I don't know, stone wall which is 5 years or older, even if it's a new stone wall, but give it 5 years, and unless you are constantly dousing it with fungicides and things, if you go and look at it, it'll be covered in moss and lichen and different plant growth. So if you look at walls that you find out in nature which have just kind of been abandoned, they'll have all sorts growing on them. So I didn't really mind too much about having a little bit of variation in colour. So use it to your advantage. So I did a couple of different dry brushing coats, each time just getting slightly lighter. So we had the dark green-grey, then we've got a slightly lighter grey colour going over the top. So yeah, just keep going over it. It helps to bring out the different levels and add a bit of interest to a piece which is otherwise quite flat. This other good piece of why to sort of like break the edges up, because it does give the brush nice areas to sort of get a bit of purchase to allow the lighter colours each time to build up. Then I mixed up a wash. It was about 2 parts brown to 1 part black. So there's more brown in it than black, and just went straight over the whole thing. Again, making sure we get into all those cracks, and you can still see a little bit of the cork just showing through slightly, and so that doesn't matter either, because again, this is going to start to unite all the different layers into one. That's why I enjoy the washes, because they just bring it all together. So yeah, I just slapped it all on. It was a nice warm day, slapped it on, and then once they were all done, I stuck them outside for 10 minutes, and that pretty well baked them. Then at that stage, I went back in now with another dry brush. This time it was the uniform grey from Model Colour, and I also added a little bit of white to it as well, and a little bit of I think it's called bone white. It's like an off-white creamy colour. So we had a good colour for the dry brushing and picking out the final details. I was thinking about maybe going in with a few yellows and greens and just sort of mottling around. I would probably get a brush and then just kind of like splat it in, just to kind of give you the idea of different lichens and mosses growing. But in the end I decided against it. I figured we'd just go for a more kind of standard looking wall, and so that's what I went for. But now, this caulking that I've been using, I've got quite a few, having used it for this now, I've got a lot of uses that I think it can be used for. You saw me using scissors to cut it at the start. I would say probably like a Stanley knife or a craft knife would probably be better. It would allow you to really be more artistic with your cuts. So yeah, I would say use the knife rather than scissors. But yeah, as I said, I've got quite a few ideas, so over the coming few months you'll start to see some of those trickling through. So hopefully they'll be useful to you. So what I'm doing here now is just base coating the base with a green. The green that I'm using, it was just two craft paints which I got from, where did I get it from? The warehouse. One of them was a light green and one of them was a light brown. I mixed them together. Light green and a dark brown. Mix them together and it gave me a darkish brown, and it seems to do the trick. A lot cheaper than using my miniature paints. So yeah, just painted around all the edges. If you're in a hurry, at this stage once the green dries, you're pretty well good to go. You can definitely have a battle with them like that. But for me, we've still got another couple of steps just to get them table ready. And that is flocking, and then adding a few extra bits of scenery to them, grass tufts, trees, bushes, that sort of thing. But as you see, easy as this, just get the PVA glue, put it around the edge. I did again think maybe I should stick a little bit of glue around, especially where the walls have kind of collapsed, and get some flock into those, but I decided against it. I figured let's just go for the base and be happy with that. And in hindsight, I'm pretty happy with the way they came out, so no issues for me. I have been asked what my flock is, and my flock is a real mix of everything. It started off, I can't remember where I got it from, it was on AliExpress, quite a fine light green, and now it's got basil in it, and it's got all sorts of different things which I've chucked in over the months. But yeah, overall, I think these have come out very nicely. They give a nice bit of, they give a good impression of stone walls. They were cheap, they were easy. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you find them useful coming forwards in your own games and terrain. Please give us a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.